everybody's talking about the fight and all that, but we got the real news coming soon. But the fight is gonna happen soon. AJ got the rematch. Yes, we do got the rematch. We taking that rematch, champ. Of course. But it's gonna be on my term and our term. We're gonna bring it back here in the United States. AJ low, he's scared. Oh yeah, why do you think he's over there trying to make the fight over there in Saudi Arabia? Like I said, I don't have no protection over there. The United States of America wants to. Never mind, I can't say nothing. But the fight is gonna happen soon.
Podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Sky's the limit, baby.
BoxingVoice.com.
We don't fight for rings and stuff like that. I don't fear anyone.
En este deporte no se viene a jugar y no le tengo miedo a nadie.
We don't come to play in this sport. I fear no one in this sport.
Does that mean that you will fight Triple G later this year?
Como lo dije en la pelea pasada, ahorita mismo me vuelvo a poner los guantes.
As I said in the last fight, right now I'll put on the gloves again.
¡Viva México!
Canelo wants to unify all the titles.
When did you realize, Andy, that you could take his power?
Because of the Mexican warrior that I am, I got that Mexican blood in me. So, talking about the Mexican style, I just proved it.
BoxingVoice.com.
Ain't no other sight in the game to see the Boxing Voice.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another breaking news edition of the Boxing Voice Radio. Eddie Hearn comes out, fires back at Andy Ruiz. We're going to give you all the details. First and foremost, Andy Ruiz Jr. has claimed that the rematch with Anthony Joshua will be on, and I quote, my terms and in the United States. But promoter Eddie Hearn has reiterated that the deal has already been finalized to go to Saudi Arabia. So this is what we're going to be talking about right here at the BoxingVoice.com. You already know hashtag TBV podcast, wherever hashtags are used. You can call us up right here at 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 one time. Voice your opinion on this subject right here on the Voice of the People hotline. Don't forget, you can add Nestor Gibbs on Skype to be part of the conversation from anywhere in the world. Just download that app absolutely free on your Android app market or iPhone Apple market. And while you're there, download that Patreon app and join us on patreon.com/The Boxing Voice for exclusive, never heard before podcasts only on Patreon. Let me go out to my co-host and we'll be back with more details on this Sky Sports exclusive.
DiBiase Production.
I speak it, believe it, receive it. Speak it, believe it, receive it.
BoxingVoice.com.
So, when I stop him, y'all gonna say he was too weak. He stayed at 147.
A man stand up for what he believes in, and when you stand up for what you believe in, you accept whatever consequences come behind it.
BoxingVoice.com.
Yo, welcome back, and shout out everybody out there in the TBV universe, back with another one. Yes, Andy Ruiz comes out and says everything will happen on his terms. Really, that's new information to me, so we'll break that down. And Eddie Hearn been sticking to his guns. You know what I'm saying? He said if the rematch don't happen, then we will proceed with the legal matters. So we're going to see how this plays out, and we're going to bring you guys some more details right now. What's going on, this?
What's up? So the audio that we played in the beginning of the start was the IBF, WBA, and WBO. Now, according to Sky Sports, he's no longer the IBO, or they're not recognizing the IBO in the article, but I'll include the IBO until notified otherwise. We will be having the IBO president, Ed Levine, on the show Friday at 9:30 a.m. So if you want to ask him any questions, head on over to our Patreon post. So Ruiz broke his silence about this second fight, about fighting Joshua, Wednesday via his Instagram Live. So I remember, months ago, years ago even, people laughed at us when we used to do shows based off Instagram and social media posts. And now social media has become the new media of today and how we deliver and receive our news. That being said, on his Instagram Live, Andy Ruiz obviously said it's going to be on his terms, end quote. He came back and said, we are going to bring it back here in the United States. Obviously, Hearn is saying that that is not true. We all know he announced this fight already for December 7th, live on Sky Sports Box Office, which is pay-per-view in the UK, and the fight is scheduled for Saudi Arabia, according to Hearn. His quote is, he signed the contract with us that he was absolutely over the moon with. That gave him the opportunity of a lifetime. He will 100% honor that contract. Mike, what are your thoughts so far on what you've heard?
My thoughts are pretty much my thoughts that I've been having. If Andy does not want to honor his contract, then they will proceed with the legal matters and make him honor his contract. I don't think Andy's going to be able to fight anybody else if this goes to court until they get this resolved. So, in my opinion, it's a bad move. If you're going to play it out like this now, if you want some extra money for going to Saudi, we totally understand that. But to say that it's going to be back in the United States, I don't see how you can pull that much weight or that much power in this particular situation.
Would you agree that he is showing some sort of leverage here with all the antics?
No, because Eddie Hearn came out on Monday and announced a fight, announced a 3-city press tour: London, New York, Saudi Arabia. Got all these things planned. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really know what kind of leverage he has, but Eddie also said he's been in contact with his management team, promotional team, pretty much on a daily basis, if not every other day. So I don't know like where all this comes from if he's been in contact with his team. So maybe Andy just wants more money. I mean, maybe that's the big issue. In my mind, that's what it is. I don't understand all these other things when you know you signed the contract and you know that you're obligated to honor that contract or else.
I think that Eddie, like I've been saying, is a very good, guy when it comes to like twisting words. And maybe you're not reading in between the lines or taking it literal, but he says, and I quote, the contract for the rematch was signed prior to the first fight. They're both signed at the same time. There is no other contract. And I believe that is the major hiccup, if not loophole. We just don't see a team as skilled and as experienced as Ruiz's team making mistakes. They have the contract. And I believe they're doing this because they have been told of some sort of loophole. They're, because all you're doing is shooting yourself in the foot, right? Like is this publicity good either way? Is it helping the fight grow? Like, I don't know. You don't want to put doubt in the event. If you're Ruiz, if you really have the intentions of having this fight, you want as many people to be on board and, knowing at least 100% that it's taking place so that they'd be willing to spend their money.
Once if you're getting the flat fee, it don't matter. Send to him. I mean, he's gonna get the same amount of money regardless. So I think it's more on Eddie Hearn wanting people to know about the fight. I think Ruiz could be mad and be difficult throughout the build up. So we'll see.
Yeah, man. The fact that he says the contract for the rematch was signed prior to the first fight, that's interesting to me, because there's a lot of new elements that come into play. And There's also this other quote where he says they are contractually bound for the rematch. There are no conversations between the two teams about not doing the fight. I don't perceive a problem. But this makes us believe that he is in conversation with the teams and neither team has a gripe. But then Andy's live is a direct response to that. Like, if there's no conversations about not having the fight and you don't perceive a problem, what do you call this Instagram live stating that not only is he not going to Saudi Arabia, but he's bringing the fight back to the U.S.? So, I think that Hearn is doing what he has to do. I think he's calming the masses while he tries to figure out what's the next play and probably get on the phone with Andy. I wonder, is he not taking his call, right? Like, Hearns has said that before, that he's tried to make deals or do things with certain fighters and they wouldn't take his calls. They were instructed not to take his calls. You think that we are possibly going through any of that?
I mean, I don't know if since he's been talking to his team, I don't know how much he needs to talk to Andy. I'm pretty sure Andy's gonna relay everything that he needs to his team, and Eddie Hearn can talk to them. Man, look, I know what Andy's on there saying and doing, and I just don't believe it. Just like when Eddie told us on the video the other day that he was not signing Billy Joe Saunders. I knew he was lying. I knew how he was smiling and how he looked. He was lying. And I'm not saying that. Well, look, I am saying Eddie lying. I don't think the fight's gonna be in the U.S. I don't think he's coming back to the U.S. I know he said it on IG Live, but I really don't put that much. What's the word I'm looking for? Credibility to it.
Well, again, from this next quote, I take it Eddie is not in contact with them, and this is more reaching in the media, trying to send the message, just like the hotel room, just like the entire floor, just like the plane, just like the gymnasium. He's putting out what Andy could receive if he just picks up the phone, because he says, and I quote, he signed a contract with us. Oh, no, I told you that. He said his choice is to have a legal battle that could put him out of boxing for years, or to defend his belts for a lot of money against a guy he's already beaten. There isn't any doubt he will take the fight. He says, we expect the IBF, the WBO, and the WBA belts to be on the line. There are mandatories due, but in our opinion, Ruiz is within his right to have a voluntary defense. That defense is against Anthony Joshua. So he also says any messing around and Ruiz Jr. will lose the belts, and he won't want to do that. But again, that's my sticking point. That's what I fear Eddie wouldn't want. Ruiz, I believe, is more lovable than Tyson Fury, so he'll get that moral victory like Tyson got probably 10 times. Those belts, Matchroom need them to rebuild.
I don't know if that's a good thing for Andy, because we live in America, a lot of shit goes on, so out of sight, out of mind if you were to go and not fight for a year and a half.
I mean, Mikey stood out the ring 2 years, right? And he did good.
Just not done a pay-per-view. How long has it been back? Since like 2016, 17?
What you saying?
When did Mikey come back off of his hiatus?
Man, I don't know. But, you know, the thing is, he came back, and he came back to Al, and he got, like, great fights. You know, he picked everything. He got the Rojas was his first fight back. Then I think he went straight for Zlatan Cannon for the WBC. Then I think he moved up to fight Lipinets for the WB4, came back down to defend for the Unified defending unified with Robert Easter, then move back up to fight Earl, I think. Shit, so, yeah, if you got the right team, you could take the time off, But again, his choice is to have a legal battle that could put him out of boxing for years or to defend his belts for a lot of money against a guy he's already beaten. There isn't any doubt he would take the fight, and that's what I'm saying. He's saying, he's saying that there isn't any doubt he would take the fight, and he's saying that because he thinks, he would not want to stay out of boxing for whatever amount of time. But again, wouldn't AJ have to stay out just as long because he's got to wait on the litigations as well?
I don't know.
That's what I assume, right? Because
AJ breaking the contract.
Exactly, but he's waiting on the rematch. He needs the rematch. He needs those belts. So now he's got to wait for Ruiz to go to court, right? Let's say Ruiz got to now AJ also got to wait for Ruiz to be in court long enough for the sanctioning bodies to strip him. They got to strip him. He's got to wait for that. And then again, there's no guarantee that the sanction body is going to turn around and say, all right, AJ, you fight for it. They got their own runner-ups. They got their own number one contenders and mandatories in line. So, that could really affect things. And that's why I'm saying I see these people negotiating this fight, easily because they don't want it to get to that. That's my opinion. They don't want it to get to that. Why would you?
Nah, man. I think if the belts become vacant, then AJ will be fighting for one of those vacant belts. We've seen it before. He unified with a vacant belt against Vladimir Klitschko. I think it's just a bad look, man. I just think it's a bad look. I don't understand. Like, what's the big deal? Like why not fight in Saudi? I mean, it's like it's going to be a good. I know you got difference of cultures and stuff like that, so I can understand that point. But for that payday, and plus, I'm pretty sure you're gonna get more than that $9 million that was reported. I'm pretty sure they sweetened the pot for you, probably upwards to like 15 million or something like that. But 15 million seems like a good offer in a rematch. You made 5 the first time. You're making 10 plus more million. Can't beat it to me.
Well, AJ, I don't see him getting a shot versus a vacant title the way that you assume because he's just not ranked high enough in any of the sanctioning bodies. They all have number ones. The best I think that they can do is because he's a big name, bend the rules and put him in a eliminator or vacant title shot versus a decent name. So again, he would hypothetically have to go up against Alexander Usyk for a vacant, Kubrat Pulev for a vacant, Deontay Wilder. Well, that won't be vacant. WBA, that's probably the route that he goes. He's number 3 there. Usyk's 2. Trevor Bryant, number 1. Manuel Char, the regular. And Ruiz, the champion. But, remember, WBA is really deep in business with PBC right now. They might choose not to strip Andy because IBF might do that. But there's no guarantee that the WBA and the WBO will. Now the WBO, again, they might because, hey, they've already heard down the grapevine, you don't even mess with our sanctioning body, right?
They did it to Tyson, right? Tyson was I believe the IBF was one of the first belts to get stripped.
Yeah, no, listen, they are known for that.
Yeah, they ain't playing.
Yeah, they know. But the beauty of this whole situation is they've already came out publicly and gave their sanction. So they
Yep.
gave an exemption saying that they can have this fight on the line. So again, they're not going to get involved simply because they hear internet rumors. But where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah, and Eddie says he's been in contact with the sanctioning bodies along with Andy's team. So maybe it's Andy just trolling us. Know what I'm saying? Maybe Andy's trolling us right now. Like, you don't think so?
Why would he be trolling us?
I have no idea. Just trolling Eddie.
Listen, man, PBC still hasn't come out and announced it, and you seen they did immediately from the beginning once they thought everybody was on board. They got a call from the higher ups, bro. Like, there's a halt. Whether you want to agree with it or not, or think that it's posturing, there is absolutely a halt on this. And there's going to be a lot more to come. I bet you that. I'm waiting for that Coogan interview. I can't wait for Coogan to sit down with Eddie because this right here needs to be discussed, I feel like the quotes he gave Sky Sports, they're generic. They're not saying much. Especially since we had a press conference with no fighters. Now I feel like when do we, like, which announcement is going to make it official, right? Like, for me, I think at this point it's going to take for that September press conference to roll around with both fighters and the promoters for me to believe now that this is really happening in Saudi Arabia or wherever it's happening. I need an actual press conference, not just with Eddie and a guy that I don't know who he is. I think that, we need the fighters there, the way we had the Big Baby press conference and even the rushed Ruiz conference. They gave us one. So I think we need that, man, especially Ruiz being there. Like, we know AJ wants it. The one in question is Ruiz, right? So we need at least Ruiz in one of these press conferences. But let's
agree.
Say what?
I totally agree. It's going to take that September to just make everything like crystal clear that it's going to happen. I totally agree with that.
Man. The mandatories, the IBF giving their blessing, that was the best thing that can happen. That bought them some time right there. So it's a matter of hammering out those details. But I'm gonna go out to these callers.
One last question for you: in what way, if you do see it, can you see Andy and his team pulling this fight back to America? Like, what loophole? Is it the pay-per-view and not having the zone rights announced officially yet? Is that the biggest thing?
I mean, it could always be a package. It could always be Andy saying, I'm bringing it back to the U.S. because he got a better offer. Like, contract or no contract, the same way that Eddie entertained Saudi Arabia, you got to entertain a better offer. But I don't know that it's that. I don't know that anybody's about to, back up the dump truck full of money for this to put it on American soil and American pay-per-view. I don't know. Like, I know you like to sing around here how AJ raised his profile. I don't think he raised his profile to the level of 1 million pay-per-view buys, let alone 500 with Ruiz.
I was just on a call, boy. I had people saying that this fight, if it comes on U.S. pay-per-view, does 700,000 on the low end.
Well, I mean, and that's what I'm saying. I was gonna say when you heard me say but then you jumped in, so I let you flow. The thing is, my but was to piggyback with the Earl and Mikey, right? Look at what that did, and that was a welterweight. We talking about a Mexican American heavyweight bringing them titles back. Doing it somewhere in Dallas or some crazy shit, but it sounds like it's gonna be Vegas or LA. Like, that's where he wants it. Like, it ain't gonna be no crazy Dallas like we want. But I don't know, man. Look, contracts, right? Contracts. Run it back in MSG, man. That's where you lost the belts. Like, I don't get this. Coming to America, like, Eddie Murphy didn't go home because he couldn't get the girl. Like, what the hell, bro? Let's go out to these callers, man. They wildin', B. It's not fair, man. Come back to America.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
Troy,
What's up?
how are you?
How you doing?
Someone knighted you, bro.
I didn't see that, so
They knighted you.
I guess it's a good thing.
They gave you their boomerang. They wrote me a message and said, "Yo, I want Troy to have my boomerang, so that you can call in with your bad connection, like right now, on speakerphone, letting us hear your background noise twice, not just once."
It's a bad connection.
How
Can you hear me?
How are you, Troy?
Actually, you know what, man? I've dropped this phone so many times. You cut me off already?
Nah, we starting the bell for you, champ.
Okay. Well, let me jump to my point. I keep hearing that he doesn't want to fight in Saudi, but I don't hear why he doesn't want to fight there. No one's ever said why.
He said
doesn't want to fight there.
He said on his stream, because he's not protected. We don't know what that means yet. We need to interview this guy.
Yeah, he's not protected. Okay, well, that's really okay. And then you were talking about if he sits out, if he has to sit out for 2 years like Mikey did. If he sits out, he's going to lose everything that he's gained. He's going to lose everything that he's gained by beating Joshua. Right now, he has a lot of people behind him. He has a lot. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, my argument to that with Mike is Tyson Fury didn't lose. He beat Vlad. He went on a coke binge. He got stripped. He decided he wasn't going to do the rematch. He actually scheduled the rematch, came in overweight, then pulled out,
right.
Then went on a 2 or 3 year layoff and still came back to glory.
Here's the difference. Mm-hmm. Tyson Fury has a set home base already. Andy does not.
Could you elaborate
Andy wasn't
on that?
the superstar. Okay. Andy was just a boxer before he beat Joshua. Once he beat Joshua, then all of a sudden he's a superstar Mexican boxer and the whole country loves him. But prior to that, where was all this Mexican support? Where was all the push for this guy who was doing nothing but winning and he only lost to Parker?
But
where was that push?
I don't think it matters because the point is he's there now. Now the Mexicans support him. Now they know him.
He's there.
What Troy's trying to say is if he just comes back with one fight, it's like a flash in the pan. Like you can't leave and go away for 2 years and expect the fans to still support you and rally behind you when you come back.
I hear both of you guys clearly. The only issue is we have history right there showing us that Tyson Fury did it, and he did it shamelessly. Like Andy's not on coke. He's not gonna get overweight. Like it's none of that, And we still pardoned Fury. We still forgave him. He still came back to glory. So I think that Andy has an even better team than Frank Warren. I think he has a better platform with Fox.
Okay.
So when, he goes away, comes back, he has the fighters there with Heyman and the television, just like Mikey did, to bring him right back to this level.
Yeah, but Andy's not from the UK, and he's never had a home base until he beat Joshua. Then everybody came out, and then they said, "Okay, we love you because you're Mexican."
But he has one now.
Where was all that love before?
But he has one now.
Now. But if he sits down, for 2 years, all that's going to be gone.
Okay.
All that's going to be gone because
But you're
what's the thing about
that.
Mexicans they love so much? No. What's the things that they always say about Mexicans? The fighting spirit. You can't have a fighting spirit if you can't have a fighting spirit while you're sitting on your ass.
All right.
Can you?
All right. We're gonna get to some other callers, but I hear you. But the issue is you're assuming, right? And I'm going based off history. I'm going based off a very similar scenario. Another guy that unified or rather didn't have any titles and was able to beat the unified champ, and then not get an opportunity to defend it and, get out of boxing because of litigations and drug testing. So very similar scenario. Never are we going to find an identical one, but shit, if ever there was one similar, Tyson Fury and Andy Ruiz at this moment, especially if Andy pulls all the way out, man, they are crazy close and similar in the situation. We got some masterminds on the line. Let me go out to Texas. We got Joseph, Big Supermax. Talk to me.
Real quick, Troy, to that point, that's not necessarily true about that fighting spirit thing because Chavez Jr. has fought like 5 times in 7 years, and they always come out for that motherfucker.
Chavez.
I mean, if you saw this past week, they always come out for him. Now, with that being said, to that point, Andy doesn't quite have that Mexican love yet because, and I've interacted with a lot of people, especially around my area, throughout the state. They're waiting on to see if he can beat Joshua again. They want to support him. They want to show him the love, but he's got to show that it wasn't a fluke. So,
you gotta show it wasn't a fucking flash in the pan.
Exactly. So he doesn't quite have. He's got people that want to support him, that are rooting for him, but he doesn't have that full-fledged support. So he realistically, if that's what you're going to use it off, he would need this AJ fight. But also, I feel like if he does the litigation and can get out of that quicker, look, if he never loses those titles in the ring, he can come back and make big money fights with Tyson Fury, with Wilder. So there's different ways to go about this. Ness is right in his stance on it, but it's how long are you willing to wait, and are you really willing to risk the popularity the same? But I kind of lean more towards Ness. I feel like he will be able to come back and get the big fights, having never lost the belt. But that's my call.
Agree, man. We got. Let me see. Looks like we got a ringer in the building. Don't forget, you can add Nestor Gibbs on Skype to be part of the conversation.
Mr. PBC, baby.
Last time I checked, I was the man on these streets. They call me residue, I leave blow on these beats.
I'm getting tired of this, all this back and forth, stepping back, stepping forward for Andy Louise type of shit, man. Like, yo, just represent. He already gave Eddie Hearn ideas on what to do. Like understanding. Like, hey, give me some money, I'll go to Saudi Arabia. Hey, give me some money, I'll go to UK. Bro, just give the nigga money. You supposed to be white, and you supposed to have that slave dad who got all the money. Throw the bag. Man. You supposed to have the boy with the bag. Bro, come on. You supposed to have the bag. Bring the bag. Give Andy the bag. Last time I checked, motherfucking Anthony Joshua said he'll go to Mexico. And then out of nowhere, he stopped doing interviews. Yo, this ended. Like, Eddie Hearn always does this with big fights. This is just, he just wants a little bit more money. He beat up a dude he ain't never supposed to beat up. He wasn't supposed to beat that dude. Just give the dude the money. And everybody else who's on the phone right now, stop doing all this funny shit. Like, this is boxing. The dude wants his money. He beat up a dude he ain't never supposed to beat. Like, come on now. You sound stupid as fuck. Like, stop being sentimental. This is a real motherfucker who wants some real money. Like, nigga don't want no chump change to beat up a nigga who's supposed to be 6'6". Come on now. This nigga's a giant. That's my motherfucking call. Stop redirecting the narrative and shit. Sound like bitches.
Going out to Checkmate Boxing. Talk to me.
Yo, can you hear me clear?
Clear as day.
Y'all hear me?
Yes,
okay,
we can.
Cool. Hey, like I keep telling y'all, listen, this is a misdirect. Notice the timing. He had a fighterless presser. Why? Because it's all to take the heat off the Dylan White situation. Okay? I mentioned to you guys at the moment he says activate the rematch clause, there will not be a rematch in 2019, 100% guaranteed. I also said that under the Unconscionable Contract Act, because it is so one-sided, he will not have to sit out. This will go to court. The judge would toss this right away. The guaranteed is rematch to happen only, but they got to come to terms. So it's not about the question whether Andy wants to rematch. It's about going to dick me around, treat me like I'm a D-list fighter, misleading the world, saying I signed on to something when I didn't. This is all about Eddie's business ventures and him misdirected, because now you're going to hear something about Matchroom, Dazn, Saudi Arabia coming soon. Notice, you haven't even heard AJ say anything about this. This is a scam. There's not going to be a rematch in 2019.
did post it, though,
and
and he hasn't
just
removed
posturing.
it. AJ did post it on his social media, and he has not removed it.
What did he post? What did he post? Did he read?
He posted the poster. He posted the poster with the says Saudi Arabia and the video.
The poster.
Yeah, but it says Saudi Arabia.
Have you heard AJ speak?
Dog.
AJ been running his mouth for the look. AJ is not. Listen, he knows this is not going to happen. Listen, he didn't know what he was doing the first time. Got his ass whipped. Say he's going to get a new trainer. You cannot train for a style that defeated you in 3 months. Remember. Last thing I'm gonna say. Don't cut me off. Last thing I'm gonna say. Listen, Wilder. When Wilder finally agreed to the 15 million, what did he do? Oh, move the goalpost. Oh, we got to go with mandatory. Oh, we got to do this. This is what they're doing. Okay, I'm telling you, this is not meant to be a rematch system because AJ still doesn't have the tools. Okay, they're bringing in a new trainer. They do all these things. It's no way on the 16 weight for Wilder.
I love the conspiracy theories.
AJ, talk to me.
What up, AJ?
What's good, man? How y'all doing?
All right.
Trying to wrap my head around that theory.
Let me go the conspiracy theories, huh? Nah, I'll be real, man. I ain't happy about it, but I mean, it is what it is. You feel me? It's business. It ain't nothing personal. When I seen the fucking the quote where Hearn was trying to say, oh well, we're gonna have to get him a plan for his jewelry in his house and shit. Why you trying to count this man's money out like that, man? That's some bitch shit. Like, you don't do no shit like that. That's some bitch ass shit. You don't do that. You know what I'm saying? If you want to fucking go with, oh well, he wants some money and shit, but we ain't gonna give him nothing. I said it before. Add a motherfucking winner's purse to this shit. I bet you shit have changed real quick. But like I said, it's to me, it's more of the shit that I feel hurt. The little side shot that Hearn was saying out there that kind of got Annie in the sense of like, all right, motherfucker, you want to try to put me out like that? Cool. Fuck your rematch. I'll see your ass in court. That's my call.
All right, AJ, thanks for calling in. We got Stone Bone Boxing. Talk to me.
On the comeback. What up?
What up? Oh, man, sliding through this mountain again. Hey, new strain alert, man. Tangelo, man. You'll think you're eating some type of fruit, Tangelo. But listen here. They got to pay him. I don't know why. Like, Eddie, he one of those, like we used to call those split-tongue snakes. You know what I mean? He talking like, oh, we want to up the pot. In one sentence, he'll say, oh, we know we got to pay him more, but he signed a contract, so he has no choice. Which one is it? And everybody know a contract is just a piece of paper that is written on. It's just like if I marry a woman and I got $100,000 and I try to divorce her and I'm a multi-millionaire, you think they're going to say, hey, well, I got married, we only had $100,000, but, you know what I mean? No, you got to renegotiate in good faith. And that's what Eddie got to do. And the judge going to say, if you're trying to give him 9,
my nigga, they fighting.
AJ
they ain't living together for like 5 years.
Oh, no. I'm not even talking about that. You can be married for one day and lose half of your work.
Most times they'll throw that shit out if it ain't not like a long marriage.
It never gets there because the guys just pay because they're smart. They pay the woman. Look, stop being an idiot. Why would you trick off the opportunity of $100 million site fee or whatever, $80 million? Why would you trick that off? You should have called Andy and said, hey, they talking about Saudi Arabia. You say 9, we got 18. Can we get it done? He went sat on a stage with this guy with no fighters no major announcement, and then the media sat there and looked stupid, and then he went and talked to nothing but UK media. And you have different people there, and they were mad because he ignored them because he wouldn't answer questions about, hey, how much? What did Andy say? Andy said.
Cut it.
Troy on his new boomerang. Troy.
Troy, come on with it, man. Talk some sense
Yeah,
to these people.
the truth is, man, all this just keeps coming back around about money and contracts, and it's just a piece of paper. He signed that piece of paper, and all he has to do is honor it. Because at the moment, all he is a champion. He beats Joshua again, and now he's established, and no one. He has the leverage. He has the power. He can do as he sees fit. Right now, there's a question as to whether he can do it again. So why not just do it again, get it over with, and now you are in charge. You have the power, and talk's over. Fight. That's it. I mean, it's not. Chinese mathematics. It's not rocket science. Beat him again, and then you have the power. You can do as you want. I'm sick of people saying he's being lowball when he's never made $9 million.
Yo,
That's crazy to me.
The logic to these AJ ass fans is retarded. You got to be the dude twice just to be in control.
That's what everybody had a problem with.
He only beat him once, Nestor. So
had a problem with.
He has to prove.
Yeah, you're right. So he got to beat him.
Listen,
So
you
he
have to
got
hear
to beat
me
him
out.
twice,
Why
right?
don't you just?
So he got to beat him twice.
Yeah, why don't you just hear me out? My point is, Nestor.
No, I did hear you out. You're gonna repeat
Okay, my
yourself
point is
now.
okay.
And you got some serious.
Okay,
feedback.
my point is the first fight, people are still questioning whether it was a fluke or not. There was a whole lot around it.
No
you
one,
do it twice,
no
you
one
are
is
officially
questioning
established.
Cut it.
You haven't spoken.
Cut it.
You only get a minute 30, champ, and fix your feedback, bro. Either you got the radio playing too loud in the background, or you're on speakerphone, but it
Might be
won't be
cutting grass.
tolerated. Won't be tolerated. On that note, so I got to get this straight. We got to beat you twice now. We got to beat you twice.
Oh yeah, bro. That's what everybody had a problem with.
Got to beat you twice to be in control. We got to beat you twice. So all that keys to the king. Beat AJ and you got the keys to the kingdom. That was a lie. The lie detector proved that was a lie.
Yep. I mean, you got the keys, but you like the janitor with all the keys.
Oh, the janitor. You real disrespectful. Andy gonna see you though.
I was trying to make a joke. I was trying to be funny.
He gonna see you. Yeah, he gonna make a joke too. He gonna make a body shot joke on your ass.
That's how Eddie treat them shit. Like, we take these keys. Make sure you here around this time, all right? Like, we don't need you until this time.
No, I mean, I'll give you his direct quote. His direct quote.
Good enough, then you can go ahead and move to the top and get all the power.
Nah, you ain't even got to paraphrase like that. His direct quote was, the contract for the rematch was signed prior to the first fight. Mm-hmm. They are both signed at the same time. There is no other contract. We just have to let Ruiz Jr. know the time, date, and venue, which we have done. That's it. They're contractually bound for the rematch. There are no conversations between the teams about not doing the fight. I don't perceive any problem. So, for him, is over. Like, yo, you signed, and I already did what I had to do. I didn't even need to bring you to the press conference because all my duty is to let you know where it's happening, according to him. But that's why he's going to be in court now. You know what I mean? We're going out to Tim. Talk to me.
Timmy.
What's happening?
What up, champ?
Man, I'm so glad you be putting these UK cats on blast, man. All I'm saying is this. If you Andy and correct that, just do it back in Madison Square. My problem is not the rematch, it's just where it's happening at. Me personally, I have a conspiracy theory. I think AJ looked like that in that first fight because he wasn't juicing. And now I could be wrong, yeah, but still no beat sample for Dillian White. I could be wrong, but do it back at Madison Square Garden. Do it back in the U.S. Prove that it was a fluke. Don't knock Andy ass out and take your belts back. You know what I'm saying? Fuck Saudi Arabia. And I was going to try to get to the fight, too. I ain't going to no goddamn Saudi Arabia. But, it's just my call. I just wanted to say and express, do it back in America, man. Because I'm suspicious with that UK shit, especially with that cover up with Oscar Rivas and Dillian White.
Yeah, man. You heard Andy. He said he ain't going to the UK. Hashtag it's a setup. Tim, man, thanks for calling in. We're going out to Rue in the 504. Talk to me.
What's going on, Roy?
Yeah, good afternoon. Good afternoon, fellas. What's happening?
What up?
Um, I think first off, I think it's completely out of line to even insinuate that that fight was a fluke, considering how
Thank
Ruiz
you.
beat AJ. And even up to this point, the only person that hasn't offered an excuse to the loss is the guy that lost. Only his fanboys are coming up with excuses. AJ owned that loss. So we should leave that at that. But as far as this current situation, I'm not surprised that we're here. I mean, even after the fight, I figured there's just no way the guy that has all the belts in his camp was going to give up any control in the rematch negotiations. Even if things were allegedly signed, which that seems to be the case, it looks like this thing is about to get very nasty. And I said that after Ruiz beat AJ, I was just hoping I would be wrong, but it looks like I'm right. This thing is going to drag out for a while. But that's my call.
All right, we're going out to Michael in the UK. Talk to me.
Big Mike, what's up?
Hey guys, hey, what's happening? Long time, man. Look, let's keep it real, yeah. This fight, it's got two ways it's gonna happen. Is either this fight is gonna happen, which I believe it will, or it's gonna be a situation where Ruiz is gonna lose all his livelihood, his money, his credibility. He's gonna be out the ring for a number of years.
Yeah, like
And
Fury?
what? Because, yeah,
Like Fury?
like Fury, like, what do you mean, like Fury?
Like Fury.
I'm talking about fighters like Mikey Garcia. I'm talking about fighters like Andre Ward. That when they have legal disputes, legal issues, that leaves you out the ring for a number of years, and and with the contract that
Man,
Eddie
you
Hearn
you
gave,
named some fighters that came back to glory. I mean to
yeah,
heights.
but the
You're
difference
making my
is
point sound even better. I thought I was gonna have to trick him into this
that
information.
yeah, but the difference is that like with the clauses with the contract that he's got is one of those contracts that you sign when you don't have no leverage whatsoever. You sign whatever you put whatever on that paper, and he didn't see what you signed. I just wanted that fight, and now you read the contract afterwards. It's like shit. I already agreed to the rematch on the first contract.
Hey
Really?
Mike.
Oh shit! I didn't know that. I
Hey
thought I actually
Mike.
signed for a rematch. I didn't know it was on the first contract.
Hey
What?
Mike, let me ask you something. What was the rumor purse for Andy's first fight? Because I don't know. I'm not being facetious at all or sarcastic. What was the room? What was the rumored purse?
I mean, look. I mean,
The first
from
fight.
what I heard that he was supposed to get 6 million in the first
Okay,
fight,
six.
and in the second fight, he's supposed to get 9.
Cool. So you think that he got 6 million and he didn't have a lawyer?
I'm not saying he had a lawyer, but
Okay.
but
Cool. Hold on. So you agree that he had a lawyer, and you do know he's with Al, right?
yeah,
Okay. So you still want to stand on the statement that he signed the contract without knowing what he signed?
yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I can say that because a lot of the times,
Cool.
a lot of the times, the boxers will sign a contract or sign an agreement, and they're saying, "Okay, I trust my lawyer. I trust Al Heyman. Al Heyman, do well by me. I trust him and whatever." Do you know what I mean? And I personally think that he probably signed that contract thinking, "Okay, I'll beat Anthony Joshua," and then now he's really thinking, "Okay." The way he's talking is either he's naive, very very naive, or he's playing a game and mugging everybody off. Because as far as Eddie Hearn is concerned, he's saying that Eddie Hearn that them and his Ruiz.
Cut it.
Mike, you think that they don't know what they signed?
I'm pretty sure they do know what they signed.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm pretty sure Eddie does too. That's why he's out here posturing like he is.
Yeah. Yeah, except that ace in the hole, man. When you can threaten to pull out, it's a very big bargaining chip. Very big bargaining chip. And remember, the last thing you want to do is have a disgruntled employee, right? At this point, he's contracting the services of Andy Ruiz. You don't want November, I don't know, 24th to come along. He's watching Wilder versus Luis Ortiz and sprained his ankle. He ain't in breach of contract, ladies and gentlemen. You got to reschedule the fight. And who's to say he doesn't suffer another injury? Google it. It's happened before. So believe me, you want to satisfy him. You don't want to be thinking in the back of your head that after you sold 15,000 tickets, 12,000 is the alleged seated arena that they're building to host this fight. You don't want to be thinking, damn, is Ruiz going to pull a fast one on us on the last minute? Is Al capable of that? Are they playing chess or checkers? Just saying.
Find a late minute replacement.
Yeah, you can find a late minute replacement. Absolutely.
Wait on. We'll wait. Let him get healthy.
Because you're saying he's gonna pull out with the injury. Cool.
Yeah. If he gets injured, we'll just wait. And longer he's out of the ring, may be worse for him, right?
Listen, no, it don't, because now the sanctioning bodies step in. That's what you're not getting. If you're cool. Eddie, no, it ain't cool. If you're Eddie, you can't afford that. But the rematch, Mike, stop saying it's cool. The rematch doesn't mean anything to AJ without the belts. You need the belts. It's always been about the belts. # road to undisputed. So if Ruiz gets an injury and the fucking sanctioning bodies step in, we lost some luster on this fight. We lost some of the shine. If the IBF take the belt. Now, oh man, Ruiz is still injured. The WBO took the belt. Now all he got is the WBA. It ain't even worth it to Joshua no more. Just saying. You might not think so. Let's see what they think. GT Kid, Atlanta, talk to me.
Well, I mean, I guess this is what it's come to. Can't say I'm not surprised. I guess we're going to see a lawsuit or we're going to see a fight. It's going to be one to two. Hearn's not going to back off of the contract they've already got in place. All the original terms were in there in terms of Matchroom having control of the venue and the date. And so Ruiz really doesn't have a leg to stand on. But this screams of, this Al Heyman dirtbaggery, just being canceled of boxing. Again, now, we talk about how much we want our sport to grow and how much, we want it to be popular, so on and so forth. And now it comes down to big fights, and everybody wants to see the rematch because it was such a big upset. And now, instead of seeing the rematch on the contract that everyone's already agreed to months ago, right, now it's in jeopardy. And it's in jeopardy because a PBC fighter is following whatever direction Al Heyman's giving them. And we might not see the fight. And I mean, it kind of sucks, because, the fight fans lose. But Ruiz, if he doesn't take the fight, he's probably going to end up broke. He's definitely going to get sued. If Al Heyman's been advising him, then he's going to get implicated in a lawsuit. When you're talking about lost revenue, you're talking about the lost money from the site fee. So you're talking upwards of $100+ million. When it's probably all said and done. Cut it. Al Heyman can't win that case. Cut it.
Southside Deucey.
Southside, what's the business?
What's the deal, champ? Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
All right, man. It's always a good day on TBV when the UK Sheep and AJ Protectors come out and finally get their voice heard. I don't know where they been, man, but I'm going to keep this real short. It's been 60 days. Where is the B sample? I'm glad
that
a few callers.
60?
Nah, I ain't been 60 yet.
Man, you get it. I'm just saying. It's been 60 days. Where is the B sample? I'm glad a couple of callers ago wanted to call and talk losing his respect and prestige and all that old funny shit. Because last time I checked, Eddie Hearn is damn near one major lawsuit away from losing his Dazn contract and sinking them right away with him. getting sued by who the dude he just Dillian White just cheated.
Oscar Rivas.
I can't think of his fucking Oscar Rivas. He about to be in court with Andy Ruiz. Y'all talking about Andy Ruiz taking some years off? Man, y'all better check and see what Eddie got going on, bro, in that pot, bro. He about to be broke and shit and back over to the UK with shoestrings holding up his pants. So that's my call, man. TBV LDBC, new media, hashtag that.
Shout out Southside Deuce.
Shout out. We got a super chat from Confused Cockney. Boxing fans want to see the best fights. The PBC consistently preventing that from happening. Therefore, if you support PBC, you ain't a real fan.
I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah, man.
We got one from that one white boy. That's his name. I didn't make it up. I got 5 on it. Hey.
Yo, people really hate Al because he makes sure that his fighters get paid. And that's what's happening. You're not going to whore my fighter out. That's not the way it's happening. We gonna do what we gotta do. See, too many times are the Carlos Takums of the world,
Do we know
right?
like all of this like is because Andy said it? I mean, I guess we gotta go with what Andy says. Okay, never mind.
You know, we got the Carlos Takums of the world, right? Who stay quiet, and you think, you know, we do show after show, and it's like, wow, look at Takum, he's back, man. I love Eddie. Eddie's a great promoter. Look how he bring these fighters back. All of a sudden, Takum's like, oh, I'm pulling out this fight. I don't want that fight with Usyk. Let me sign. Let me get somebody driving this car, helping me out. Let somebody see my quote-unquote full potential. So, you know, y'all can say what y'all want, man, but in this sport, you need someone that looking out for your best interest, and definitely your best interest is not receiving less than 10% of the pot. We going out to Brandon.
Allegedly.
Oh, sorry.
Allegedly.
We going out to Brandon in North Carolina.
Yes, sir. Ness, you are the greatest conspiracy theorist there is. But hey, you putting out bad spirits, man. You putting out bad spirits, man. But hey, I'm gonna go along with you on this. They're going to. I even called on here and told you that the Tyson Fury and Wilder fight was not going to happen. I called him like a week or two after the fight. But I'm gonna tell you what's going to happen. Ruiz has already got an offer from Mexico to fight in Mexico, probably upwards of $2 million. So he can go ahead and say, you know what, freak them belts. He'll probably keep the WBA. He'll go fight somebody in Mexico, make about $5 million, and then the belts go off everywhere. Eddie Hearn already sees this stuff happening. He's already positioning Usyk to fight Joshua in Saudi Arabia. And whoever keeps saying that, that Ruiz is not getting the right type of money, let's think about it. Look up Ruiz's net worth, $700,000. That means his whole career he's made $700,000. So making $5 million and $9 million is not a bad amount of money for somebody whose net worth was $700,000. But Ness, you're on to something. Ruiz is going to go fight in Mexico for $5 million. If you ain't never had no money, $5 million, it sounds just as good as $9 million. So this fight might not happen, and you might be on to something. Because if Mexico offers him money,
cut it.
Rod in the 870.
What's up, man? Hey, I got two things here. First off, Mike, man, you way off base with this shit. I've never seen you so far off base since I've been listening to this.
What am I off base with? Let me know.
You keep talking like Andy just needs to take the money. Come on, man. How many damn football players you see out there with 3 years left on their deal and their value has changed and they go and break the contract to get more money? You think Andy Ruiz is stupid enough to
how many times do we see the fucking NFL teams say no, nigga, play
Let him finish, man. Let that man finish, man.
But he knows.
Let that man finish, Mike. Let that man finish. Damn, you ain't gonna let him finish.
$100 million. Mike, let me finish, man. You got $100 million on the line. Do you really think Al Heyman? I will fucking fire Al Heyman if he allowed me to take that fight for fucking $9 million. When they signed that first contract, You know damn well Eddie Hearn didn't think in the fucking hell that Ruiz was gonna win that fight. So they just put that fucking contract together. And if he go to court, guess what? What judge gonna tell him, hey man, you have 50,000 followers, now you got 1.5 million. Your profile has jumped. Everybody know who you are. We gonna let you take the same amount of money. He's gonna easily get more money in that fight. So it's smarter for him to hold out. And then you guys sitting here talking about he needs to prove himself. What the fuck he needs to prove? He beat the shit out of AJ from round 2 to round 7. Whenever that fight stopped, he destroyed his ass. He hit him with a body shot.
Cut it.
Okay, can I speak down?
You know you can.
Okay, all right. First off, we know you know Rod as well as I do. NFL teams tell niggas to play out their contract all the time. It happens with Earl Thomas in Seattle. As a matter of fact, Earl Thomas got injured with a fucking broke his leg or some shit, and he had to play out the contract that he was under. That's why he was so mad at the organization, because they didn't restructure his deal. That's why he haven't spoke to Pete Carroll in almost a year. So for you to come on and say that players in the NFL always get their way, you're fucking lying, because we've seen it over and over and over again. NFL teams in the NFL is probably the worst sports league when it comes to players and their contracts. Second of all, I'm not off base. Andy signed the fucking contract. He should have read what he was fucking signed. He should have been knew thoroughly, or he should have just believed in himself that he was going to win. Because if you believed that you was going to win, you wouldn't take the fucking deal in the first place. Wilder didn't take it. White didn't take it, because they felt like they was going to win and they needed more leverage in the fucking rematch. I don't know what you felt. Maybe you felt it was a blessing from God that came down upon you and you knew you was going to win, but you signed the damn contract that Wilder and White turned down. Sorry, Andy. Go fight him.
Mike think he hurting something with that little fake speech. We're going out to Chris in ATL. Talk to me.
Joseph, we need a boomerang.
Oh, sorry, Chris. We'll be right back after these messages. Where is Joseph? Doom. Where's Joseph? Joseph? Let me go slow. I don't. You sure he's on? He's not on. He is definitely not on the line. All right, so in that case, we're going back to Chris while Joseph calls in. Chris in ATL, what up?
What's good? I think that last caller made 2 good points, but I would have used the NBA as an example rather than the NFL. We saw that with Kawhi Leonard and Anthony Davis. You can't force somebody to fight or to perform. You know, if somebody's not happy with a contract, you got to renegotiate it. And that's actually one of the key terms that's used in court is change circumstances. Like the last caller said, you know, Andy Ruiz, if he had like 5,000 Instagram followers, now he's got 1.5 million. The whole country of Mexico knows him. You know, he's popular in the United States now. And if you really sit back and think about it, would you really accept terms from somebody who you beat and knocked out? It's you know, and I say this as a guy, I ride with AJ. I like AJ. But, you know, I think getting knocked out and then trying to dictate to somebody where a fight's going to be, how much they're going to pay, it's just not realistic. So they're going to have to come back together, and both sides are going to have to be happy with the fight contract in order for this fight to move forward. All this dictating shit, those days are gone in this new era of sports. That's my call, guys.
Chris, thanks for calling in. You know, it's funny, Chris. Mike and the rest of the callers won't recall you. I know him. He is anti-Wilder. He begged Wilder to take all those fucking deals. Chris, come back here. Come back here, Chris. Chris.
What's good, Nick? What's good, Nick? What's good, homeboy?
Do you feel like, damn, maybe Wilder had a point now, hearing everything that the poor Andy's going through when he took the deals that you used to talk so much shit about Wilder. Oh, my God. Now, come on, at least tell me your opinion has changed.
Regarding Deontay Wilder?
Regarding the situation, obviously fighting AJ isn't as simple as what everyone thinks.
Yeah, it's a you know, on the surface, it's like Wilder take the money, but it's just so much that goes into it. You know what I mean? Wilder's connected to so many people. And, AJ's being used by Eddie Hearn to try to, knock these guys, out the box. So it's a very complicated situation. So I don't know. That's a very tricky situation. But I did want to give an example. Maybe some of these people could help them understand. If you start a job and you sign a contract, and then 6 months into the job, you find out you're the top salesperson, that this company can't survive without you going to work every day and making the sales. Are you going to sit there and just accept the same pay for the next 4 or 5 years? Or are you going to ask for a raise? Are you going to ask for a bonus? It's the same thing right here with the Ruiz-Joshua situation. I say this as somebody, I like Joshua. I ride with Joshua. But he lost the fight.
And
it is what it is. So,
real quick, I totally agree with that. I totally agree. If you're the top salesperson, that you are going to go to the boss like Andy has done, and Eddie has acknowledged and give more money. But what the fuck you're not going to do under my contract, if you're my top salesperson, is quit.
Yes, you could. That's what you could do.
You can't force me.
Yo, that's the biggest thing he could do is quit. And then guess what? That top salesman ain't on your fucking team.
I'm suing his ass for suing him for fucking breach of contract.
Mike,
I'm taking it out of court.
And that's cool. But think about this. Al did. I'm assuming.
How much money you got now, top salesman? I'm about to drain your ass dry.
Listen to me. I'm assuming, right? Al did everything that he went to court for, right? Oscar and Bob filed lawsuits, and even Kathy Duva, right? I think she the one started it. Everyone filed lawsuits. He settled. So somewhere he thought it was better just to do what you doing and pay for that in court. Right? Because of the long-term plan. What was the long-term plan, Ness? Premier Boxing Champions. What is Premier Boxing Champions now, Ness? Pretty much boxing.
Yeah, they got a nice hold them. It's between Matchroom and Premier Boxing Champions for the best stable, and I think Premier Boxing Champions still has the best stable overall.
Well, that could be argued because a top-ranked fan will say they got Top Rank has more. Well, they'll say Top Rank has more pound for pound fighters on their stable on the list, right?
But pound for pound
is a mythical thing, yeah.
Pound for pound depth, I think Matchroom and PBC has the most depth, and I think PBC may edge out Matchroom real quick. But on this, we got a couple super chats that I want to get to. We got one from Christoph Boxing, Mr. Dazn. H Money dead. That's Mr. PBC, by the way. We got one from Ohio Runs Boxing. In my Suge Knight voice, if you don't want promoters signing you to slave contracts, all in the YouTube videos, lying to people, wanting attention, come to Al Heyman, Ohio, Death Row Boxing. And we got one more for Ohio Runs Boxing. Fist emojis. So I'm pretty sure he's going for Sean Porter this September.
Yes, he is. He's got hella funny emojis on his Instagram. Like he be like, when I say I'm picking Sean Porter, people face and shit. Let me go out to Mastermind Boomerang. Actually, the Boomerang gotta wait because Mastermind first time gotta get in. NO, talk to me.
What's up, homie? What's happening? You on mute,
Yeah, what's happening?
What's happening, bro? What's happening? You heard me?
What up?
Look, check this out, dog. This shit reminded me of the Facebook movie, dog. I don't know how many people saw that Facebook movie that came out, how that shit started up.
Yep.
How this nigga got a bunch of people to sign some bullshit ass contracts. And when they went to court and they saw the money that was fucking made and how the shit was started, all them dudes got paid. I don't see nothing different with this shit, dude. And that's my call. I'm out.
Yep. It's that simple, man. When you present it to the judge and you show that the fight is valued more than it was in the past, There's just no way, you know. And again, Eddie doesn't want that. You need Joshua focused, training, knowing that it's a fight, Mike. Let's be honest, like outside of
That's
little,
why he's out here doing what he's doing. He's trying to keep that like, hey, everything's full go. He has no leg to stand on. He has to fight Joshua. All that, all that. I hope he's a what did he say? He's a man with principle or something like that who is going to uphold
yeah,
his end of the bargain. He said something silly like
yeah,
that.
he's basically wishing on a star, bro. But what I see, if you go to AJ's YouTube channel, you see that it don't matter if he's doing an interview, he's getting a massage, he's at his therapist, he's on his phone. He's on his phone. He's on his apps. So you ain't telling me he ain't seeing all this. This is fucking with his psyche, and you don't want that. This is your franchise fight. I'm not going to waste more time. I'm going to go to my boomeranger. Joseph Big Supermax, talk to me.
What up, Joseph, man? My bad, bro. I saw it late.
Nah, you good. I had to jump off. I had a black and white stop me real quick, just a real quick inspection. Um, well, people keep calling in and talking about you can't come back. You can't come back and try to dictate and negotiate and control. Which I gotta understand is the terms were already negotiated and dictated. Andy Ruiz agreed to it. Like I can see both arguments. You know what I mean? It's you know, they're of no contractual obligation to give Andy anymore. And it's business. You got to take your morals out of it. The right thing to do isn't what's always right for business. So I can see Eddie Hearn and their side of it, but I could also, I mean, I do feel like Andy Ruiz should get paid more if that's going to be the case. But like I said, this situation is going to get long and drawn out and real tricky, real fast. So it just it all depends on. Honestly, I think if they can come back and just offer Andy like 15 mil, I think this will all go away. But who we gotta just see where it plays out, man. That's my call.
All right, all right. Let me go out to what we got here. Tony P, talk to me.
You got me?
We got you.
All right, real quick. I'm not gonna waste my time on this, but I want you to talk to these people about a fight about contract, not a rematch clause, but a bout contract. Ness, I know you know what I'm talking about, so I'll let you handle that. Now, real quick, I want to get on my conspiracy shit real quick. What if Hearn don't want this fight? What if he wants to drag it out because he don't want Andy to give AJ a second loss, and then he could use that excuse to say the belts got away, and then he could rematch Usyk for the WBO. I'm just saying,
Yeah,
might be
but do you
possible.
do you think AJ beats Usyk any easier? It's not a given that he'll beat Usyk, right? So that would be a very dangerous plan.
You're right, but if he loses the Usyk, it's still on matchroom terms, not on PBC terms.
I
Just on
guess.
some conspiracy shit. Just on some conspiracy
Yo,
shit. But
but you
otherwise,
might as well take some more time and tell us what you mean by bout contract. I don't know. You tell me. Go
oh, okay,
ahead.
okay, okay. So listen, for all these people talking all this shit about Ruiz signed a rematch clause. Yes, he did. But guess what? You can't. No one can take a gun and make Ruiz get back in that ring. He has to sign another bout contract for the fight to commence. Until he signs the bout contract, there is no fight.
Okay, I know what you mean. And that's what I kept arguing that there's like, yo, Eddie's trying to be slick with the words. He's talking about the first contract. Now, Sky Sports asked him directly, and that's why in his latest Sky Sports interview, he says, yeah, he signed this prior to the fight. And that's exactly what I'm saying. You still got to get a new contract. Like, you still got to get all the new terms, the plane that he's saying he's giving you, the fucking hotel room, how many tickets, all that's in the contract. But he talking about you signed it already. Man, beat it, Eddie, beat it. Andy ain't dumb. That's all we know. He ain't dumb. He proving that real easy. We going out to Tennessee. Tennessee, Rough House, what it do?
Yo, what it do, Mike? What it do, Ness? What's
What
up
up?
with y'all?
Chilling, man.
Yo, man. Hey, real quick, man. Hey, the last fighter, he kind of took my one of the things I was going to talk about, man. And people are not understanding the difference between the contract and the rematch clause. Big difference. Make sure you study and do your due diligence on finding out the two. Yes, he signed for a rematch clause, saying that he would give AJ an immediate rematch. But it, I haven't seen the contract. I have not seen the contract, so I can't just sit up here and say that I know what it says. But if it did say that in the rematch, it will be you will give AJ a rematch in a location and a venue of our choosing, then we wouldn't be having this discussion. It would just be wherever they decided to have the
That's
fight
what he
at. And if
said
it
though.
wasn't
He
for the
he
fact
came
that
out and said that.
you said what?
That was in the contract that the venue and the date will be of our choosing, and you will be informed.
Ah, okay. Okay. All right. Well then
That's why he's
I
out here doing
concede
what he's
that point right
doing. That's
there.
why he's out here doing the press conference with the Saudi Arabia dude. That's why he's telling all these YouTubers and media outlets that the fight is going to happen.
Okay. And I'll concede that one then. But the other point real quick that I was going to make is I think the biggest reason that people have so much trouble trying to negotiate and make fights with Eddie Hearn is that he wants everybody to be the mega A side. All of his fighters to be the mega A side, man. And y'all tell me, 70-30 in terms of Joshua, he's still the A side, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And we're talking in regards to a possible a perceived $100 million fight. So we'll even say 80-20. If they would have offered
The issue is we never know the total, man. So it's hard to say that he's getting less than 10%. We don't know the total, man. But 33, that should be the normal, right? Like I think Joseph Parker set that precedent. You know what I mean? Joseph Parker received 33%, and he got that for having one belt.
Yeah, he got like
Andy
between $9 and $12 million. Something I think was rumored.
And Andy now has 4 belts and he holds a win over you. That's all we saying. Like, and that's it, man. I think that other caller, that's why I love that this is a call-in show, because it's like obviously other people have their own opinion and some of them shits end up being better. And that caller that said it, like, yo, when you go to court, it's just a different, I'm valued more now. I'm a champ now. Like, you can't give me a B-rate salary, man. Like, that don't work anymore. But we got a
So
ringer on him. Sorry.
I don't know, cause like the music industry, like the same way, you can be have the #1 song in the country, but shit, you still getting paid what the label gonna pay you.
Yeah, and them artists get out them contracts, man.
I mean, come on, man.
They get out of them. They get out of them.
When?
We see it all the
Give me an
time.
artist give me an artist right now that got out of this contract. American artist, not one of these motherfuckers that I wouldn't know.
Shit, man. Cameron and them, bruh. Like,
Cameron and them win.
yeah, they set the precedent, man. They got out. They was the first ones to kind of go independent. Remember, I believe it was Kosh Records, bro. They was. Come on, you
When
asked
did they
for an
get out?
example, and you don't want me to you don't want me to give you the
I'm
example. I'm just saying, you either want it or you don't. You either want it or you don't, because they was with Rock Nation, right? Cameron's
they
Come
with
Home With Me.
Rockefeller. Yeah,
Cameron's Come Home With Me was Rock Nation Def Jam, right?
Rockefeller. Yeah.
All right. But his biggest album and their best work was Diplomatic Immunity and Cameron, the Purple Tape. And then everything Jim Jones dropped, which was all Koch Records. Go do the math. They got numbers that was unheard of. Then you see mad artists jumping.
Bro, I
And then
understand that, but
streaming came out.
when did he get out of his contract, or did they let him out?
Man, I don't fucking know,
That's
bro.
what I'm saying.
I
If
think
you're
he
a
was
popping artist,
released though. I think he was released. Remember? I think he was released because that's when Rockefeller broke up, and I think Dame might have stood with him or let him out, and then Kanye went with Jay, and they left. They started their own thing. Then Jay became some sort of CEO at Def Jam, bunch of shit like that, man. Whatever, man. Lids Low, talk to me.
what up, Lizzo?
Mike over here hating on poor Andy, man. You called it. You said he was gonna knock him out.
Yeah, what's going on with that, Mike, man?
I'm not hating
He
on
want
Andy,
him to. He
man.
want him to
I'm
stay in
just
his
shit.
slave contract. He don't want him to meet Harriet Tubman. He want nah, stay.
Fuck this.
Yeah.
Okay, check this, Mike. I'm gonna give it to you real quick, like this. First off, shout out to Body for making me a ring of 100. All right, Mike, check this. Say motherfucking Fox Sports pick y'all up, right? They give goddamn Ness $10 million. Ness say to you, I fuck with you, Mike. You my nigga. But check, we had did a little contract earlier, right? And I only told you I was gonna give you 1,000 a month. So Ness got the whole 10 million, and he over there eating good, goddamn stripping, spanking shit, and you over there still eating on what the fuck you eating on. You ain't gonna look at Ness a little funny?
We ain't got no contract.
Okay, hypothetically,
Now,
you ain't gonna look at Ness
hey,
a little
hey,
funny?
hey, 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 Lizzo, we got a verbal contract. The verbal contract stick up in court.
I'm like, I ain't said, nigga. I'm mute, goddamn. I don't know what he talking about.
I just want to throw that out there real quick. Just think about that shit, Mike. But on the real though, y'all know I'm down for Annie. If the man want a little bit more money, shout out of 100. You can't get a man 15 and not trip about it. See, that's how you know that goddamn Eddie Hearn, man. He all about money. He don't give two fucks about anybody. You did, not even Anthony Joshua. You understand? So, man, stop all the bullshit. Get a man the money. If he don't want to fight in Saudi Arabia, is that an issue now? Do he still not want to fight there?
Yeah, he came out on his live today or
So
yesterday
he ain't
early in the
safe.
morning, and he like, nah, man, this fight coming back. I'm bringing it back to United States.
Okay then, fuck with the man on the shit. We don't want to fight across sea, and if he don't want to fight in Saudi Arabia, fuck no disrespect. Fuck Saudi Arabia, then let's goddamn bring the shit here or bring it somewhere where we can make the fight happen. I don't want if they don't want to do it, and if Andy say fuck you and y'all take me to court and I lose all the belts, but guess what? Goddamn Joshua can't get all four on back. We'll ride like that then. You understand? Like just do the man fair, shot. He ain't asking for much.
Cut it.
Mike know it, man. I don't know. I think Mike got to do it for views, man. Mike over here selling out for views, y'all.
I don't know. I don't know what y'all mean, bro. I'm just going by. Nigga, if you sign something, man, you gotta live up to it. We got a super chat from Christoph Boxing 101. Ness and Mike are way better than Come on, man. Akin Barak, PBC signed TBV, put them on a show, and Mr. DAZN ducked smoke with me like a free trail on the zone.
Like a
I
free
like
trial.
free trial on the zone.
Like a free trial on the zone. He funny as hell.
I mean, but shout out to Akin Barak, man. They doing their thing. We got one from Rod 870. Russell Wilson, Michael Thomas, D Law are all new contracts early. Who the fuck is Michael Thomas? Was up for up to be a free agent next year, so he had leverage. Andy's not up to be a free agent. And Russell Wilson, he's
Bruh,
the
how
same.
you gonna say threatening to pull out ain't leverage, man? This guy's crazy.
Yeah, it is leverage, but it's like he still got to fight if he loses in court. Like these players still have to play that contract
But
out.
Mike, again, if you go to court, you lose the belts. The rematch, not as important. Not as important. Not as big. So you won in court. Andy don't got to pay nothing. You just
But you
now
gotta
listen.
you gotta understand, like, if does Al want to pay that much money?
Pay what? You lost in court. The judge makes
We
you
lost
fight.
revenue.
You lost in court. The judge makes you fight. Is he gonna impose a fine we don't know about? You're gonna have to show me some facts.
I would think
Yeah,
that they would put up some lost wages.
Find the Rockman situation. That's as close as we're gonna get. Someone went to court and failed, but all they're gonna do is make you fight. That's like a divorce, right? You split the debt. The judge appoints that debt to whoever, but you can't. No one can force it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Nah, you can't. What are you gonna do?
So you're just gonna leave it like $100 million? If I go to court and I say this PBC,
With your spouse. Remember, we're talking about with your spouse. Let's say you have a spouse. Y'all divorced.
let's talk about this PBC situation though. Like, if I'm Eddie and I go to court and I say, because of the PBC label and the promotional banner or management company that Andy's under, I could not get this fight over the hill, and I lost wages. I need these wages back, so I'm suing Al Heyman.
Yeah, that's different. That's different.
Forever for these lost wages.
That's different if he puts it if he files like that. I'm assuming.
I'm assuming he would if he loses like a $40 million site fee or $80 million site fee. I'd be like, bruh, that's money that we could have had. Like, you know what I'm saying? I need that. You feel me?
Yeah, but he gonna have to produce some sort of receipt of
Absolutely.
escrow. You know,
Absolutely.
you can't just say you was getting some money and not get it. Ricky.
What up, Rick?
Yeah, man, Mike, I'm disappointed in you, man. I'm
Yeah,
like,
man.
it's 2019 and we betting against Al Heyman. You tripping?
I'm not.
Word is
Anybody in
wrong.
boxing
I'm
betting
not
against
betting
Al
against Al
Heyman?
Heyman. I
Word
fuck
is
with Al
wrong.
Heyman. I love what he's doing for his boxers. You know what I'm saying? And I respect it. But at the end of the day, if
But
we
I'm
go down
saying
this
though,
route,
Mike, if Al Heyman say, bitch, you ain't got to fight in Saudi Arabia. If bitch, you ain't got to fight in Saudi Arabia. If
Exactly.
Al Heyman say sit down, bitch, you sit down. And another thing I want to say, you saying that everybody, I don't know if you said it because I got in a little late, but everybody saying he walking away from $100 million fight. Eddie getting $9 million. Eddie getting a $40 million fight to you, however much it is. Joshua getting $30 million. Ain't no pay per view get back. So what $100 million fight for Andy? And another thing I wanted to say, imagine if Wilder would have took the flat fee and then had a rematch clause in his contract. Would we have told Wilder just to take the money
no.
that
But
was
but
inside the
why?
first
That was
contract?
one of Wilder's
Hell
main sticking
no.
points for not signing the contract. Like, was the rematch clause?
I know. I'm saying if it was a rematch clause in there, we wouldn't have told Wilder just to take no money. And another thing, like Andy know his value. Like this man is the first ever Mexican heavyweight champion. We didn't even know they got that big into him. So why the hell would he not take that money? Like, nah, you sit back and you say when Al Heyman say jump, then you say how high. And so then fuck with anything anybody else got to say because Al Heyman's resume and track record speak for itself. Everybody done got paid.
That's it.
Everybody.
That's
From
it.
Bro,
Mikey,
and
everybody done
that's not
got
my
paid.
point
That's
though.
period. It's
That's
Al
our
Heyman.
point. That's
Everything else.
our point.
And you listening to Eddie at the end of the day, Eddie ain't built nobody. Amir Khan and Kell Brook didn't fight. Dillian ain't got no fight. We still ain't got the B sample. Joshua just lost a fight. What is
Well,
next
he
room?
built
Danny Jacobs
Joshua.
over there, he dead.
He built Joshua. You can't take that. He built
He built
Joshua.
Joshua. He built Joshua. He built Joshua, but that's it. Dillian gone. We don't know what's for the gone. He might get made up as an example. Danny Jacobs dead. He just signed Billy Joe, but who cares? Nobody don't care about Matchroom. It's the PBC
I don't know.
world. They
I
just
care. I
business.
care about Matchroom. Matchroom
What?
signing.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, I understand when you Al Heyman says do something, you do it. I totally get that. Totally understand where you guys are coming from when you say that. My whole thing is the motherfucking juice worth the goddamn squeeze? When we go to court, is this gonna be worth me paying Eddie Hearn and Matchroom this money back? Because that is what they're gonna go to court with: breach of contract and lost revenue for this fight. I don't know if Al Heyman is willing to pay that money. Andy Ruiz hasn't done a pay per view yet. We don't know if he can beat Wilder. We don't know if he can beat Fury. What if he goes to fight Wilder and get knocked out the first round? Gets knocked flat. Is he still a big time star? Is he still, you know what I'm saying, like that marketable? What what if the pay per view buys don't do as good? Maybe he don't even make 9 million in that fight, or does he get a guarantee of 9 million plus the fight? Like, that's a lot of money that's out there. Because if you're Andy, if I don't fight in Saudi Arabia, I won't get 15 million dollars. But if I go back to PBC and fight on Showtime or Fox, am I going to get that $9 million payday? Am I going to get that possible $15 payday that I'm going to be bitching for from Eddie? Because I do agree he does deserve more money. He absolutely deserves more money. But going back to PBC and fighting, will you get those kind of paydays over there? I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure. I know the Wilder fight is going to be a big fight. It is. But what if you lose on the way to the Wilder fight? What if you face Kownacki and you lose to him? It's all kind of things that can happen, man. So that big fight with AJ over in Saudi Arabia for 9 million, 15 million, however much it is, you take it. You're bound to it by. I mean, look, I know people's out here saying the contract is another contract and all that kind of shit. I'm pretty sure Eddie was smart enough to have the wordage and verbiage in the contract right, because he was on record. I think when the Gill lost to Truax, He was killing Frank Warren because he didn't believe that the Gill had a rematch clause. You know what I'm saying? He was like, I would never send my fighter of that caliber, of that prestige, in the fight without having a rematch clause. So that tells me, in my opinion, that he has to know what that contract says. That he has to know that the verbiage is right in that contract. And if he does, if there is some kind of loophole that's in there that any team can expose, I think it would have came out by now. Don't you guys think it would have came out by now? All this posturing and what the loophole is, shouldn't it came out by now? Or are the lawyers still working? They've been having the contract for shit since he signed the fight in May, in early April, whenever it was. He signed the fight, so they've been had it. So if they thought he was going to win, then they know the verbiage of the contract. So why are they just starting to try to pull these kind of moves? If you knew you had leverage and you knew there was a loophole that you could possibly use, why not let the public know? That's just my opinion on the matter. I mean, at the end of the day, it just seems like he's out here trolling, posturing, trying to get more out of Eddie, and I can totally understand that. With all the rumors swirling around, with all the rumors going around about man, you call me a bootlicker, damn.
Yo,
I
Mike,
just know.
man, thanks for trying to hold me down, bro.
Oh no, bro, you good?
You don't
I'm
even
going
know.
on
I'm being
a tangent.
attacked over here. There's a mosquito in this office destroying me.
This nigga on this mosquito.
Bruh, no, seriously, it's killing me. But I'm listening to you talk, and I'm like, Jesus, I need to rush over there. This dude's talking nonsense.
What nonsense I saying?
Talking about Andy's out here trolling
Eddie,
and
hey,
posturing.
posturing, yes.
What the hell, man? Listen, you said if there was a loophole, he would have used it. Bro, that is the loophole. You squeeze them. The only people that can't have the other side, out in the media saying that he's not fighting is Eddie. He's the one that has an arena allegedly being built for this fight, bro. Like, you need everyone on board so that everyone who's investing is on board. No one that's investing in this fight wants to be hearing this type of stuff, Mike. Come on.
What you mean?
I mean nothing. I mean, I got a bunch of callers.
Okay.
We got Oliver, Bermuda, Cincinnati. Talk to me.
What's going on, Oliver, Bermuda, Cincinnati?
Yo, what's good? Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be real quick. Let's just stop any assumptions and let's just look at things that we can rely on. Yes, there was a contract, but yes, he's also working with Al Heyman. I mean, everyone has tried to take Al Heyman to court. I mean, Bob Arum was a fucking lawyer, before he went into the boxing scene, and Al Heyman still gets what he wants done. And so when you're talking about this large sum of money, like what does Andy Ruiz really have to lose by pulling out? Because he's not getting that full bag of 100 million based on this contract currently. So, and in addition to that, there are a whole bunch of other shit that's going on, like with the doping shit, with White. There's a whole lot of things that really changes the landscape of it, and the fact is, you don't know if they have a case or not because you're not a lawyer. But the fact is, whenever Al Heyman has gone to court, whether he settled or not, he still gets to do whatever the fuck he wants, and that's historically a fact. So if Andy Ruiz can get away with getting out of the contract, he's with the right team to do it. And with all the money that's on the table, why the fuck wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he take this stance, Mike?
Do you think that if they take this stance, do you think Eddie would try to sue for lost revenue?
I don't know. Like, how do you know that he can? Like, it's all right. He will have to sit out for a couple years, but if he doesn't, because Eddie said that if he fights anyone, then they would be taken to court. So if he sits out, then what the fuck would Eddie have to gain? In addition to that, they have more to
So what
lose.
you're saying is like not hold up, but like just drop the belts.
B, who's going to lose more? Eddie. Like, they have not delivered with the zone like they wanted to. And this is just another example. Like, imagine them not doing this fight. They need this fight just as bad as Andy. And that's what you have to look at. They need this
More.
shit.
They got the site
Yeah,
fee. They got the site fee. They,
exactly.
yo,
Like
I
they
see
lose
people.
more if they don't get this fight. They lose a lot. And then how is Anthony Joshua really gonna come back with fighting any belts, but he doesn't go after Andy Ruiz? Like seriously, the only way back for Josh.
Yo, I see people in the chat, Mike, saying, "Yo, the Al Heyman ain't got more money than the Arabs. They're gonna sue the hell out of Al."
I
Yo,
don't think about it.
yeah, that's the
And
thing.
rap
You
gonna sue
can't sue.
Al.
You can't. Yeah,
Yeah, you
if the
can't sue Al,
Arab,
you sue Eddie.
exactly. If the Arabs are gonna sue anybody, it's gonna be Eddie. And then we ain't gonna say Arabs. We're gonna say Arabians,
Arabian.
Saudi Arabians. But yeah, man. Let me see who we got. Jesus, yo, mosquito killed me. I think this motherfucker's still alive,
A
man.
couple suit chats I need to get to. All had 2 years left. Stop it. You called me a bro. No, they didn't all have 2 years left. Especially not D Law. Uh, confused Cockney.
Yo, you ain't gonna finish reading his chat? That's it?
That
Oh,
was
that
it.
was it?
He said all had 2 years left. Stop it. You called me a liar. That's all he said. You want me to read it again? 3 times?
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna make it sound better.
Okay. All had 2 years left. Stop it. You called me a liar.
Yeah, that sound better.
Confused Cockney. What kind of fucking name is that, bro? Like, it sounds like some suspect shit right there. If you agree to buy a property for a fixed price, the seller can't then argue its value has risen to break that deal. That's what contracts are for. So he's saying if you buy a house, and let's say, well, you agree to buy a house, and let's say 2 days later, motherfuckers next door, they gonna put it in a fucking Starbucks, so the property value has drastically risen. You can't just go back to do like, hey man, we don't need 120,000 for it. It's value at 250 right now, bro. Ain't my problem, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I already put my little bid in for it. You feel me? It was already finalized and everything.
That's so cute. The problem with that whole analogy is that you could only buy the house once. But since we're using house analogies, when you bought that house, the problem is neither one of you have one, so you don't know how it works. When you buy that house and then you resell, usually you have equity. Why? Because the house goes up in value. Normally a person buys a house, fixes it, and that's why it goes up in value. So in this case, Andy is the house. He had to fight. Now he's shiny and fixed up in front of the eyes of the public, so he has more value. But we got
Yeah.
callers.
But what he's saying is like if you already agreed on a contract and something happens
It
drastically.
was a bad analogy because again, you can't buy a house twice and you got to sell it. So
No.
and houses go up in value.
Nobody's saying buying twice.
But that's what I'm saying. The contract doesn't work here because there's a rematch in this fight. So that's two fights. So again, if we're going to use a house, that's two purchases of the house. And again, if we're going to use a house
didn't mean it like that,
goes
though. Like,
up
you
in
trying to
value.
use like the literal
a
like
house
boxing.
goes up in value. So it's a bad example for you
He was
guys.
talking about a contract,
because that's
not
what
the
we're
rematch
saying.
clause, though.
Well, that's what we're saying. We're saying that Andy went up in value, hence why
No,
we don't.
that's what you're saying. That was your argument.
No, a lot of people that are calling in, they're saying Andy has new value. I think someone else used the point that I didn't make.
Out of court,
They
yeah,
they said something about the Instagram followers and how he can show that he's worth more now. Let me go out to Australia.
No one can stop me, really. Oh, there's a king croc right there. This croc has enough power in its jaws to wet my air right off. Unique in the 6th round, in the 7th round.
Dazn Productions.
You gotta be the legend to become a legend. Honestly, these are unbeatable. You gotta be the legend to become a legend.
Yo, boys, just jumped on, so forgive me if someone else has said this, but I'm pretty sure it works like this. Andy Ruiz signed a contract that he needed to have a rematch, probably for a set price, but what I believe to be the case is in the contract it didn't have a location. So what Ruiz is doing right now is saying, yeah, there needs to be a rematch, but it's not. It doesn't have to be where Eddie Hearn says. Hence why this problem keeps coming up, and hence why Eddie Hearn keeps saying, "Oh, it's up to us contractually. It's up to us," but can't get the location stuck yet. Because if he wanted to, if it really was contractually in Eddie Hearn's favor, he would have just said, "Nah, it's in England. We'll sue if it's not in England," because it's obvious that's exactly where they wanted it to be. So it's clear that Ruiz has some sort of power in terms of location. I still think it's going to be in Saudi Arabia, but Ruiz just wants the pot sweetened for himself, and he's using the location, twisting their arm with that sticking point. But that's my call and that's my take.
All right, Alex, thanks for calling in.
Totally agree, Alex.
We're going out to Mookie B. What up?
What up, fellas? How you feeling?
Good, good.
Hey, listen, man. I don't know. I know there's always rematch clauses. Don't get me wrong, but I think this is the first time that it's happened with Eddie, and I think this is all about to blow up in his face. Yeah, Ruiz signed the contract. He did sign that rematch contract, but he didn't sign anything new, so he can hold out all the way until he feels good about what's going on. They can't make him sign this new contract to put the fight on. Yeah, he could say, yeah, I'll rematch. Yeah, it's $9 million, it's this or it's that, but he still has to sign it. If he don't sign it, he ain't gonna get he can't get sued for not signing. And that's all my call is. I don't think that, and I'm just putting the thought process together. Yeah, he signed a rematch clause, but he didn't sign no new contract. So he has to go to Saudi. He has to do all this stuff, but that's only if he wants to, because he has to sign a new contract for the fight to go on. That's my call. Peace.
All right, Mookie B, thanks for calling in. We went to Brandon on this show.
No, I don't think so.
Brandon, talk to me.
What's good, Mike? What's good, Ness? Mike, I agree with you 100%, bro. I don't think people understand contracts. Perfect example. Me and Mike, Liz Lowe, our favorite fighter is Bud Crawford. He's still paying Chris Middendorf Promotions, his original promoter, because he signed a contract that he can't get out of. So that guy's still getting the cut of his money to this day. His popularity has risen. He's been making more money since he signed with Chris Middendorf. But since he signed a contract with Chris Middendorf Promotions, he can't get out of that, and he's still paying that man to this day, even though he's with Top Rank. So all you
Very
people,
cute, Brandon. Very cute. But that's the difference, and that's what we've always talked about here. That's why we had Cameron Duncan on. When you're a manager, they can let me finish, because you coming on saying stuff without giving all the facts.
I mean, you cut him off. You like you told me, wait till the caller get done, then let the facts out.
You right, Mike.
Two. See, man, you fucked up my train of thought. For one, everybody on here talking about Al Heyman. Al Heyman do this. What was Al Heyman when he signed this supposed to say contract? Didn't Al Heyman oversee this deal? So why would Al Heyman allow his fighter, this great Al Heyman, who people looking at as a god, why would he allow his fighter to sign a deal he thought wasn't,
90 seconds.
3. Everybody keep talking about Andy Ruiz stock has risen. Make no mistake, Saudi Arabia gave them this site fee not because of Andy Ruiz. They want to see the return of Anthony. If Andy Ruiz was that fucking popular, he can go out and find his own.
Cut it.
Man, that's why I like cutting off. I don't even know what I was going to get at him for. Stefan, talk to me.
60 seconds.
Hello.
What up?
Hi. Listen, I agree with a lot with what Mike's saying. He ain't got a choice. He's gonna go there. He has to do it. All this thing about people saying the contracts, and the contract was signed already. He doesn't have to sign a new contract. And I see a lot of people saying that he's the champion, that he won, he should get a choice. No, you don't get a choice. He was given a gift, as Eddie Hearn said, and it's just what it is. Exactly the same thing happened to Sugar Ray Robinson. When he lost in England to the fighter, the rematch, they had a rematch clause, and the rematch was in America. and he was a challenger. So it's the same
10
thing here,
seconds.
and that's my call.
All right. So yeah, his analogy, Brandon's about Bud and his promoter, it doesn't fly because managers you can get rid of, promoters you can't. The verbiage in a contract of a promotional contract and a managerial contract or a fight contract are completely different. As we've spoken on here many and many of times, promoter fighter contracts are different in the sense that if a promoter gets you a title shot, hypothetically, that could extend your contract. If a promoter gets you a certain purse base, that could extend your promotional contract. So in contracts, there's a whole bunch of shit that could extend you out and force you to stick with a promoter longer than you would like. We've seen that throughout many, many years. For hypothetically, or for, excuse me, not hypothetically, for instance, Chris Algieri can't get out of the contract with, Joe DeGuardia. Depending on the situation, I'm assuming you can buy it out, but that promoter's gonna have to want to sell it too. So it's on the promoter.
Okay, Brandon never came on and said that those contracts were alike or similar in any way. What he did say is that the reason why Bud is still down with that promoter is because he signed a contract. And maybe he didn't read his verbiage when he signed that contract. Who knows? But the reason that he brought that up because Andy signed a contract. So therefore, you got to honor the contract. The same thing Bud is doing, the same thing Chris Algieri is doing, the same thing Andy Ruiz is going to have to do.
Yeah, man. Again, you guys speak from not knowing. This guy brought up Chris Algieri in that phrase when Algieri tried to get out of his contract and he couldn't get out, right? But it's not the same thing Bud is doing. He's not honoring it. He tried to get out, and he sat out for almost 2 years, just like Mikey sat out. Some people get out, some people don't, but everybody's going to try that chin. Ward sat out, Mikey sat out, Algieri sat out, people sit out.
Again, I was not bringing up by anybody fighting or not fighting or sitting out. Only thing that I was bringing up was the contract part of my speech.
Yeah, I know. And I'm bringing up the fact that it's a totally different contract. In a
But
promotional
it's still a contract, though, right
it
or wrong. I mean,
extends
a
itself.
contract is a contract, right?
No, because the promotional contract, if the promoter completes a certain task, it can extend itself. But
I'm not
we don't have
arguing
a
the
promoter
details
on
of a
right now,
contract,
so it
bro.
doesn't
I'm
make
arguing
any
that
sense
it's a
to go
contract.
back and forth because whatever I say, you're obviously not paying attention to it. So, we'll wait for the next time we have a promoter and you can ask him those questions. Jermaine, talk to me.
Hey, what's up, Nez? What's up, Mike?
What up?
I got a couple points I want to make. Number one, Ward and Kovalev went through a rematch clause fight, and Ward ended up getting the upper hand on his rematch when Captain Dover tried to make Ward hold to his dad. Even Ward was threatening to retire, and they still ended up giving Ward what he wanted.
Yep.
And same thing is kind of with similar when GGG and Canelo went through a little rematch difficult, and they was Dover was trying to
but
force
that's different.
GGG to take the same.
That one was
That's
different.
different. I agree with that.
Because it wasn't,
All right, but and another thing, yeah, I give you that. But and another thing, Eddie Hearn said something particular. He said, Saudi Arabia got the fight, but it wasn't the one that had the most money that was left on that was left. So what he was saying that they still left more money on the table by choosing Saudi Arabia. And number three is I don't see no American judge telling Andy Ruiz that he's gonna force him to fight in Saudi Arabia with a level 2 situation. That's not gonna happen. They're not gonna force him to fight in Saudi Arabia. He didn't sign a fight in Saudi Arabia. The contract is American based. It was signed in America, and the contract was for a fight in America. And Hearn just wanted to fight in the UK for his own reason. And my last point,
Yo, so I guess Andy's being interviewed by ESPN, or I don't know when this is, but he was asked by ESPN how he expects Anthony Joshua to approach their rematch, and I quote, he says, "I think he will want to run a little longer, move, but he's too big. He has too many muscles. It will be very difficult for him." I hope they ask him the right questions, right? And we get some good quotes for tomorrow, because if they got him in studio, they need to ask about this Saudi Arabia thing for sure. We got Cincinnati in the building, 513-975. Who's this? Cincinnati, 513-975.
Can you hear me?
Yes, who's this?
Can you hear me?
Yes, who's this?
What up, man? Elohim Jeans in the building,
Oh,
fam.
what up,
What's good,
champ?
man?
Been a minute.
Long time, baby. Long time, man. We back in the building, though. Hey, but listen, man. Mike, this for you, bro. Hey, how you gonna say that, just go get the bag, it's in Saudi Arabia, who cares where it's at? If he don't feel safe going to Saudi Arabia, he ain't got to go to no Saudi Arabia. You know what I'm saying? And you sound real thirsty, just like Hearn, trying to, get as much money as you can and think it's all good. I mean, like, bruh, money ain't everything, man. And all money ain't good money. You don't know how it goes down in Saudi Arabia. You ain't never been. And other people are telling you how it goes down over there. And you still trying to act like that's nothing. Like my man should just go and do that. That's false.
Bruh. You live in America, don't you?
Second of all, with contracts, bruh. Second of all,
Okay,
with
you don't want to talk
contracts,
to me. Okay, that's
you
cool.
can always opt to sit out on a contract, bruh. The other party can pull out for whatever reasons they want on a contract, bruh. And you going to have to do whatever it is you got to do to get them back online, baby. That's how it works. It's all about the numbers. So if somebody falling out on a contract, the first thing you going to do is, like my man said earlier, is try to pay him, up the rate. Let me see what I can do to keep this customer, because I got to keep you to make these profits. You feel me? So they're not going to want to spend and lose money going to court when they can have so much to gain. So he can definitely sit out, like Ness has been saying. You know what I mean? So you got to understand, bro. It's not a one-way street. Hearn is a snake. I don't even know why you back Dylan White. So I do know why you back Hearn like this. You know what I mean? This is crazy.
And I
You ain't
think
even got a B
Oscar
sample.
Rivas on the show,
Has
but go
Khan
ahead.
even got paid for his Saudi Arabia fight? Answer me that. Has Khan got paid for his Saudi Arabia fight, B? You heard any news on that?
The fuck's going on here?
Negative. Exactly. That's what I'm
Now you want
saying,
to talk
man.
to
And
me?
y'all so
Can I
thirsty
speak
to
now?
get my man
Let me know
set
when
up
I'm
over
ready.
there, bro. This is
Cue me up.
America, bro. We doing things over here in America, man. Hey, that's
I love how people like to bring up other countries and like just talk about them like they're just so bad when we live in America where mass shootings are becoming more and more common. Or you can go to Walmart down south and buy you a motherfucking gun in the Walmart. So I wouldn't just cast dispersion on other countries when our country is not the greatest country right now. I mean, it's a lot of turmoil, a lot of things going on in the political atmosphere. Secondly, when does money in boxing now become everything? And it called prize fighting? Don't these guys want the biggest prize? So for you to come on and say money isn't everything, maybe not in life, okay, the cliche, but cool. But in boxing, I believe it certainly is.
All right, going out to Mastermind Boomerang. NO, talk to me.
Man, shit, bro. I'm hearing a lot of shit, Ness, and we all knew fucking Andy about to get paid, dog. Niggas, niggas coming on this bitch hating. You heard me? They don't want to see him get that bread, but they know L gonna twist some shit around, and he gonna get more than what he was supposed to get. We already know that, dog. And another thing I want to find out, I want to see if AJ bringing Joey D back in for the training camp, dog. Cause he gotta like Joey D gotta get some get back too. You hear me? They gotta rematch that in training camp. You dig? That'll make the fight even bigger. He bring Joey D back and then he go back in there with Andy Ruiz. You hear me? Cause he got knocked out twice last time. He gotta make it through the training camp. Then he gotta make it to the fight. You see what I'm saying, though? He still got Joey D smoke. You gotta take care of that. You hear me? And then Andy gonna get his bread on the back end, cause that's what Andy about to do. He about to get that 15 million Plus that back end money, that shit gonna wind up being $20 million he get at the end of the day, you heard me? And everybody that's talking that shit, when Andy get paid, I don't want to hear nothing, you heard me? I don't want to hear nothing about no L can't make nothing happen and all this shit. When we've been seeing this man do this shit for fight after fight, that's my call, man.
All right, let me go out to B. Paulie. Talk to me.
Ness. Hey, y'all got me on? Y'all can hear me?
Yes, sir.
What up, B.
Oh,
Paulie?
okay, my bad. I'm calling from the computer and shit. Hey, man, smash that like, dog. Hey, look, though. Ruiz, I think he just probably about to get that bread, man. I think Al Heyman, they know what they doing, man. I think even Eddie Hearn know what he doing. I don't think they just on some surprise shit, not knowing what's going on. They all know what the fuck they doing. They milking the fans. They writing the narrative. They playing this shit out. It's gonna play highest play. But I don't know. I think a lot of these dudes right though, Mike. Like, you gotta think it's important to be able to travel the world and see exactly for yourself what go on, because I don't think America really that bad in a sense to where, what I mean, it's other places that's more fucked up. You know what I mean? So I think you really got to go for yourself and see to be able to determine that. But
In
hopefully, bro, get his
2000,
bread.
in 2019, they did a census on the top countries that were the safest in the world.
Yeah, that shit don't
98
mean
was
nothing to
America.
me. No, that shit
99
don't
was
mean
Saudi Arabia.
that shit don't mean nothing to me because I ain't go there, so I don't really care about no stats,
I'm
no
just saying what
census.
people that do
Me,
research on this
the
particular
best
topic
research,
has said.
the best research is a life experience, bro. You go through life yourself. But on some other shit, that cutoff shit, bro, man, y'all need, man, it's cutoff king season, man. Mike snatched that bitch from you, Ness. Fuck that shit, man. Y'all niggas keep cutting each other off, man. I like that shit, man.
Cut it, cut it, cut it.
Mike, take over.
Like I was saying, man. 2019, they did a safest world country ranking or whatever. I looked up the other day. We did it on air, and number 98 was America. Number 99 was Saudi Arabia.
We got Q, Florida. Talk to me.
Oh, yo, hey, listen, Mike, you gotta listen. I fuck with y'all boys heavy, man. You know what I'm saying? TBV, what it is. Mike, you gotta start with the semantics, bro. You gotta start with you with this wordage. You sound just like Eddie, man. I tell you, man, it's mad. This man talking about Ruiz can't. I mean, you already know how this works, man. His value has risen. His stock has changed. His status has changed. My status has changed. Yeah, his status is changing, man. Andy Ruiz is for to get this fucking money. He ain't gotta go there. This is not gonna look good if they can't make this happen. They need to just satisfy the man. Mike, why can't you just pay the man?
I already said that Andy wasn't gonna get no extra money. I've been on record today saying he'll probably get somewhere between $15 million. That's what I've been saying. Throw him another $6 million. Make him happy. Come on, Andy. Come on and fight.
So making a negotiation, Mike. So making a negotiation, not making a negotiation for a previous fight. This man is out here talking about they've already made it. They don't need it to make negotiations. They already made negotiations for the previous fight. That's crazy. You know that gotta run that back. You know, you smart enough. I heard you say some smart shit now.
Bro,
You smart
that's
enough
the
to know that
reason
something
Wilder
has to
and
be
Dylan
signed,
White
something
didn't
has to
sign
be
the fight,
discussed in the
bro.
meantime.
Cut it, cut it, cut it, cut it.
Going out to
BoxingVoice.com. You invited him to the ring? Why?
He just said he just listening. We went out to Stunner, right?
Nope.
You sure? Stunner, talk to me.
Oh, yo, you hear me?
Not really.
Yo, can you hear me now?
I mean, you muffled.
Like an igloo.
Why you talking inside your
All right, what
skull
about now?
cap?
All right, yo, check this out. So, look, first off, about this Ruiz thing, here's what is going unreported, which might play a big factor. I don't know if y'all are aware, but Showtime and CBS got bought by Viacom for $31 billion, right? And part of this deal is they want to integrate a lot of cross platform promotion. So as far as what this means for boxing and why I'm bringing this up is like, for instance,
they got this shit going on with Canelo, Ness. Come on now, they got this shit going.
About to go up like crazy because every Paramount movie that's ever come out is probably going to be moved onto that app. So if you want to watch any type of movie that's made by Paramount Studios, you're gonna have to get the app. So basically, what I'm saying is like the budget for the PBC just went up low key. So as far as you guys debating on, Al Haynes not gonna want to have to pay this money. Like the money, you dudes ain't worried about no bread. Like a little lawsuit that Eddie Hearn want to do, that shit ain't nothing. And also, Mike, you said you pulled up some lists about world's most dangerous countries, and Saudi Arabia with like 97. Hey, bro, I pulled up a list that was updated in 2019. That shit was like 125, 135 out of 160
Nah,
countries.
bro.
Bro.
I read the
That shit
list
dangerous, bro.
on live on air the other day. I should link check.
Nah, he said yours was 2017. He said he pulled up one from
I pulled
2019.
up another one on that day. It was 2019.
Oh, okay.
Remember? I did more than one.
Okay. Majid, talk to me. Florida.
Hey man, I just wanted to say that I still think that Saudi Arabia plays weird as fuck, but I'm down for Ruiz making it hard for them, and if it gotta go to court, it gotta go to court, but we need some rounds, and everybody that got a brain know it ain't even, so that's all I got or whatever, but fuck UK, they playing games with us. I'm out.
All right. Well, Majid, thanks for calling in. We got a block caller. Who this?
Hello?
Yes, who's this?
Hello?
Yes, who's this? Hello. Hello. Eddie. Eddie.
Hello?
My man saying hello. He don't want to talk.
Let's go! Let's go! I'm ready!
Mike.
Yup.
Ness GTO, Instagram and Twitter.
Gross1911 on IG and Gross2312 on Twitter. Peace out.
Watching this on YouTube, hit that thumbs up button. Future, present, past. Peace. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Oh, shit. We still live, Mike. Hold on. We got Edward called in Alabama on a late tip. What up, Edward?
Hey, sorry about that, man. I thought I had pressed 1. I'm sitting there waiting like, yo, these dudes have forgot about me. But hey, man, I called it yesterday, man. I told you this was Eddie Ruiz gonna do, man. I don't know, man. I just hopefully they haven't figured this shit out. But Eddie Ruiz, at the end of the day, the house comparison isn't a good comparison because he's not a piece of property; he's a person. So there's different rules. He can come up with a usage or something like that. Maybe somebody brought up, well, Al Heyman advised him to sign that contract. Why didn't he look out? Maybe Al Heyman knew that there was gonna be a way for them to get out of it. So I mean, it's just stupid, man. This is just gonna go back and forth. The fight's going to eventually going to happen, but I don't know about the Saudi Arabia thing. That's my call. I appreciate y'all waiting for me.
All right. Peace. Damn, now we got another caller. Okay, y'all ain't playing. They want to rock out with us, Mike. Let's see who's that. Yo, I seen that mosquito come back too, man. Motherfucker. He back, bruh. Who's this? Who is this?
We got a super chat from Brandon while you figuring out who that is. Breaking news. Ruiz negotiate trilogy that brings third fight back to U.S. if he suffers loss. Hashtag AJ versus Ruiz third in Vegas. We got one from Brandon Maurice. How many U.S. venues offer Andy a $80 million site fee? And we got one from, AJ needs to bring Joey D back for training camp.
He talking about Joey DeWelko.
I know.
Bruh, AJ already said that was a lie, man. We going out to a new caller in the 404. That should be ATL. Who's this?
Yeah, this is Brian.
Brian.
Yeah, Brian. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Y'all got it, man. First thing, man. When we looking at the contract thing, man, You got a guy who has completely changed his value from the beginning. Nobody knew who this dude was. He comes in and he beats you. Okay, he beats you. Now the value of the fight has changed. The people who were in the arena at that particular time in the first fight didn't even know who he was. Now you got a whole different fan base that this guy's talking about. Okay, that's talking about him all over the country, and it's not just the fact that AJ is coming to Saudi Arabia. It's the fact that Andy Ruiz, who beat AJ, is also coming to Saudi Arabia. So the value of a change. Of course, the man need to get some more money. $9 million is in a $100 million fight. Man, you completely pissing on this man. Period. You pissing on him for $9 million. If we sitting up here and we talking $100 million fight, Roy Jones told Don King and Bernard Hopkins, if Don King made 30%, 40%, and me and Bernard Hopkins make 30% each, that's bad math. And that's the same thing that's happening here. It's bad math. That was my call, man. Y'all appreciate y'all.
Thank you for calling in, brother.
ATL, stand up.
Nest GTO, Instagram and Twitter. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. You never know when we're going live once again. Peace.
Peace.